Hi, and welcome to Spooky Asia Channel podcast for our Boo Tales episode 2. We are your hosts, James.
I'm Jenny.
We had uploaded our first episode recently, so let's recap that episode with our audience and listeners.
So the first story is about a guy playing guitar in his room on late night, then was disturbed by a sound and he freaked out. The second story was about 3 friends who hung out late at night and saw a Pontiac at the playground sitting on a swing and had a rough night. The last story was about a lady and her guy friend stuck in a lift at an abandoned HDB flat and saw a black figure.
Well, Jenny, what are your views on the 3 stories in episode 1, and which one is your most favorite?
Well, anyways, the stories are true encounters, and I think overall all the stories are scary, and it usually happened in late wee hours after midnight. The most favorite story to me that freaked me out the most is the Pontiac on the swing story. It is scary because of the flying on top of the tree and sitting on the swing. If it was me, I would faint. Ha ha, those friends have a scare of their lives.
Those are Jenny's views, and if it was my point of view, story 2 would also be my favorite because of the chaos. So guys, sit back and enjoy episode 2. Boo Tales Episode 2. Story 4. The Shadow in the Old House.
In a small, quiet village, there was an old house. It had been empty for years, but people still spoke about it in hushed tones. They said the house was haunted. One night, a man named Tom decided to explore the house. He was curious about the rumors and didn't believe in ghosts. With a flashlight in hand, he walked up to the front door. The wood creaked as he pushed it open. Inside, the air was cold and heavy. Dust covered the floor and cobwebs hung in every corner. Tom walked through the house slowly, shining his light on the old furniture and peeling wallpaper. Everything was quiet. After a few minutes, he reached the staircase leading to the second floor. It looked unsafe, but he climbed it carefully. At the top of the stairs, Tom felt something strange. The air seemed colder, and he had the eerie sense that he wasn't alone. His heart started to race, but he told himself it was just his imagination. He kept walking down the hallway, which led to a small bedroom at the end. When he entered the room, he noticed something odd. The bed was neatly made, as if someone had just been there. But the house had been empty for years. Suddenly, Tom heard a soft noise behind him, like the sound of footsteps. He turned quickly, but no one was there. Nervously, he scanned the room with his flashlight. As the beam moved across the walls, it stopped on something that made Tom freeze. In the corner of the room, there was a dark shadow. It didn't look like a normal shadow, though. It seemed to move, slowly shifting its shape. Tom's breath caught in his throat. He wanted to run, but his feet felt glued to the floor. The shadow grew larger, spreading across the room. As it moved closer, Tom could feel a chill crawling up his spine. He took a step back, and suddenly the door behind him slammed shut with a loud bang. Terrified, Tom grabbed the doorknob and tried to pull it open, but it wouldn't budge. He could hear the shadow whispering now, though he couldn't make out the words. Panic filled his chest. Finally, with one strong pull, the door flew open. Without looking back, Tom ran down the stairs, nearly tripping on the steps. He didn't stop until he was outside, gasping for air. When Tom reached the safety of the street, he glanced back at the house. The windows were dark, but he swore he could still see the shadow watching him from one of them. Tom never went back to the old house again. He told his friends about the shadow, but most of them didn't believe him. Still, Tom knew what he had seen, and from that night on, he was no longer a man who doubted the existence of ghosts.
Story 5. Eerie Sound from My Window Part 2.
One night when I fell asleep at about 11 p.m., then around 2 a.m., I suddenly woke up because I need to go to the toilet. So after I went to the toilet, I went straight back to my room. Then all of a sudden I heard that sound. The sound which my brother told me before a couple of months ago before he moved out. I freaked out and I saw a shadow of a ghost behind my transparent curtain. I slammed my room door and quickly ran to my hall. As no one was home because my sister and my mom work night shift, I was all alone and scared. So I switch on the hall television while I watch out for my room door to make sure that the thing won't open it. I prayed and prayed. I really feel terrified. Then the scariest moment came. What a relief. That was my sister. She just came back. I asked her, "Why are you back? Aren't you working tonight?" Then she said it was her off day, so she just came back from supper with her friends. Then I told her the story, then she said, "Let's try and check my room again." Then after we went slowly opened the door, and peek, we didn't see anything. But my sister just switched on the light. She said just leave the light on till sunrise, and at the meantime, you just sleep in the hall for tonight. And so I calm myself down and just rest at my sofa until sunrise. In the following day, I went back to my room, so I slowly came in my room and check around. Luckily, there was nothing anymore, but I'm too phobia and scared after what happened, but I have to prepare myself to sleep in my room again later tonight.
Story 6. Ponte by the Park.
I was walking home one late night. It was past midnight. The air was still, and the only sound was my footsteps echoing down the quiet street. The moon hung low in the sky, casting eerie shadows over the trees lining the road. As I neared a small park, I noticed something strange. At the edge of the park, standing beneath a tall tree, was a woman dressed in white. Her long, black hair fell over her face, and she stood perfectly still, as if waiting for someone. I slowed down, a chill running down my spine. I didn't recognize her, and something about her presence felt wrong. I tried to shake off the feeling and kept walking. But as I passed by, I couldn't help but glance back. To my horror, the woman's head slowly turned to face me. Her eyes were empty, hollow, and her lips curled into a sinister smile. My heart raced, and I froze in place, unable to move. Suddenly, the woman let out a soft, eerie laugh. It was the kind of sound that made your skin crawl. I knew what she was. A Pontiac. The ghost of a woman who died during childbirth, often seeking revenge on men. I had heard stories about her growing up, but never believed they were true until now. Before I could react, she moved. She floated toward me, her white dress billowing around her. It wasn't like normal walking, even though there was no wind. Panic surged through me. I turned and ran as fast as I could, not daring to look back. I could still hear her laugh, following me, growing louder as if she was getting closer. My legs felt heavy, but I pushed myself harder, praying that I would make it home. My heart pounded in my chest, and my breath came in short, panicked gasps. Finally, I reached my front door. I fumbled with the keys, my hands shaking uncontrollably. Just as I unlocked the door and stumbled inside, the laughter stopped. Silence. I slammed the door shut, locking it behind me. I stood there, panting, my back against the door, too scared to move. For the rest of the night, I didn't sleep. I kept hearing faint whispers outside my window, and every shadow seemed like it was her. Even now, I can't shake the feeling that she's still watching, waiting for the right moment to return.
We hope you all like it. Please submit your stories to our email link. See you on our next episode. Do like and subscribe.
Goodbye, guys.